Oh, afternoon, Peas and Gravy Productions. I'm going to do a little tutorial on drop blocks and the ones I've been recently making, which I call the version 2s. There's the version 3s, anyway, it doesn't matter. People asking about how drop blocks work. Well, there's a 2240 tube, normal tube, and that's the valve that would have come out of it. What you do is you take this original valve off, the valve head off, sorry, and this is what's known as a disco valve head. It's come from the Discovery guns, and you fit this in its place. It's a direct replacement. You leave all the internals in, and then that fits inside the tube, and push it in, and it'll slide up to where the screw hole goes. So that's what the cutout's for. So your screw goes through and in, and then that's your screw there to hold it in place, and then your transfer ports on the top. Does that make sense? Yeah. And when I pin them, I go sideways into the meat either side, so you pin them so it cannot move. So anyway, that's the first operation of the drop block. I would always recommend pinning anyway, but what you can do, you can just fit it and screw it. Then the second part of the drop block used to be, I'll use one of these, used to be seals, and you used to drill and tap it. And what you'd have to do, here's a tube I've used, and I've cut it open so you can see the threads. You used to cut the threads off, and then offer the drop block in, so the part where the seals went past where the threads used to be, and then drill and pin it so that it was reduced by the length of its threads, and it was pinned and screwed together. So then it would look like that, and that would be a plenum. Now what I've done, I've made a plug and play system. I've been working on it for a while, so I've made a plug and play system. You start off with your disco head. That's the virgin one without any seals on it. That's where the manufactured. Add the seals, swap the heads straightforward. You can take the valve out, swap the head, put it back together. You can cut the pin stem, the PS part off if you want, or you can leave it. There's plenty of room around there. You can also tune your valve a bit more if you want. You can take the threads out. There's various other things to improve flow, but for one, that's the valve head there. And then you would fit it back into your gun. And then this is the latest level of drop block. This one, longer, no pinning required. Offer it in. There's a seal starting to bite in now, so take it all the way up till it stops, because then you know your maximum in, and then back it off. So you've got 2 or 3 threads thrown, and then you just use a little locking ring and screws down like that. Give it a nip. There you are, that's it done. You will now have an HPA as quick as that. Screw your bottle on, and away you go. Prime your system, but I would always recommend pinning it. I've seen them without pinning. I've seen them with just the grub screw holding the valve in, but I would never recommend that. But if you know what you're doing and you can pin it, then that's fine. Or you've already got a pin system, that's great. And all you need is these 2 parts, these 2 here, and that's your screw in drop block. That's a plug and play drop block, shall we say. And then you attach your bottle on there, and that's the way you go with the locking rings. So you can see the recess there. You take the locking ring past, so it's in there. Bring the barrel up, sorry, the gas tube up to about 3 threads thrown, and then you snip it down, and that holds. It doesn't really need it because it's solid, that, but when you pressurize that up, that's not going to go anywhere anyway. and that's just a secondary precaution basically. As long as everything's lined up, that's nice and tight there now. And then you attach your bottle and off you go. Totally don't need any more machining other than, like I said, I would recommend pinning the valve. And that's your plug and play drop block. And if you want to revert back, just crack it loose, screw it out like so. See, it's coming out there nice. It's come to the end of the threads, and there you go, out it comes. No damage, no cutting, no shutting, no nothing. And he just reverts back. You can take the head back off. As quick as that. Ready for your new gun. Put your gun back together. Job done. The only thing I have noticed though, which I'll explain to you, when that's in here and it's screwed up, which we'll just use it. See, it's screwed up now. When you come on, this is a 2240 tube. 2240, yeah. If it was a 2250 or an XL tube, you can't fit your barrel band over it, so you have to fit your barrel band from the back, like so. You fit your barrel band loose and then slide your barrel down, and what happens is where you come to your transfer port, hang on, I've got that wrong, there we go. When you come to your transfer port, you're going to have to, it's just a bit of jiggery pokery. You've got to put your transfer port in, see the gap? And then drop your port in, and you can roll it, because there's quite a sizable gap in there. It does work, I've tried it, don't worry. You put it works much better on a longer tube. You've got to give it's just a shame I've only got this tube. And then you just drop your transfer port in there. So you can even loosen your barrel if you wish. Drop your port in, and everything just sort of wiggles and falls in place. And then put the screw in. I've got a XL barrel here, XL tube, sorry, but the end's all chewed, as you can see. But I'll show you what I mean. So you would slide your barrel band on from that end all the way at the end. So that's where it would be normally, with your drop block attached, and put it in. And then if you come to this end, I'll hold that in place. Come this end, you can see now you've got the clearance, got loads of clearance there to put a transfer port in. You see it? And that's your barrel band on, and then you just drop it over the top, clamp it down, and away you go. A little bit more fiddly on the 2240 tube, but easily doable on a 2250 tube. But apart from that, that's the only fiddly bit that there might be. But yeah, that's the history of the drop blocks. Started off on the SMK 79s, I believe, and somebody seen that they could be modified to fit a CROSMAN, and it just went from there to where we are now, where I've created a plug and play system. Full set of seals with the rings. That bare aluminium straight off the machine. I'm not going to anodize them or polish them or anything like that. The way they come is that's the way they are. It's too much for little gains to faff about. So that's the way they would arrive, ready to go. And you can screw your bottle on there. Then you've got your plug-in HPA. Anybody can do it, but I would always recommend pin your valve, just to be on the safe side. You can take the chance if you want, it's up to you, it's your gun, but for me it wouldn't be. And then you just take that up the end threads and just lock it off. So you just take the end there and that ring, and then you just wind it in. You can feel it, the resistance. I would fit this there, lovely that. Come to the end, text all lines up, just hold it tight and just nip it off there. It doesn't have to be crowbar tight, it's just by hand nip it. It just prevents, see it's all in line, can you see there? Just prevents the drop block from turning. When you're fitting your bottle, always hold the drop block and fit the bottle to the block. Same as when you're taking it off, hold the block, take the bottle off. Never hold the tube and take the bottle off, because you run the risk of twisting this and putting excess force on here, which it doesn't need. You just doesn't need that at all. So when it comes to taking off, hold the ring, crack it loose, and away it goes, and that's it. Screw it off, move on to your next project. Dead easy, dead quick. Works a treat. I've been running it all week. Everything works lovely. All I would, these are just for show, but what I would do is when you're fitting the O-rings, make sure they're nice and oily. You know, polygon oil on there and on here, and then so it's under the seal as well as just not on the outside. It's the whole seal's coated. So when you screw it in, if you look there, you can see the black marks, the pen marks. That's where the seals will finish. So I just did that so I can see. So you see, I just wind it in there now. It's just coming to a, there you are. And that's where they are now. Lock that off. So you've got the full accompaniment of threading on there. Everything's got a hold of it, so it's not going anywhere. When you pressure it up, you can feel this all go tight, so you would struggle to turn that and that. But if you did manage it, the chances are you could damage these threads with them being aluminium and these threads being steel. So once it's in position, just lock it off and leave it alone, and it should see a lifetime. As I said, hold it here, fit your bottle, away you go. When you take it off, hold here, take the bottle off, and then crack this loose. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Plug and play system. It's been a while in the making, but it's here at last. And I've been running one most of the week, flat out. Every chance I get, I probably put about 300 shots through one, and it's never missed a beat. Never moved. Solid. So, tell us what you think. I've never done this like and share thing before, but if you can, it would be appreciated. And I don't know why I'm appreciating it, but you know. But yep, disco heads, drop blocks, plug and play, plug and play. Okay. Any questions? You know where I am. You know the crack. Thank you very much for listening.